Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to come on today and kind of go into all these retrogrades. We have 7 planets retrograde. Well, we have 6, but Mars is in shadow, and then Mars will go retrograde October 20th. And there's so much change going on in the world, and so much that we've all been through, and all of us are feeling a little tired and that we need to recover and rejuvenate. And with all these retrogrades, it slowed a lot of things down. And we haven't had this many retrogrades for a long time. And Mars retrograde that long in Gemini, and even longer time. So we have Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde, we have Chiron retrograde, we have Jupiter retrograde, and Mercury retrograde. So Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Chiron, Mercury, Neptune, and then Mars will go retrograde. So all these retrogrades are, I see it, what's coming through to me as I'm channeling for my clients and things, that this is a preparation period, because we are moving into the Aquarian age, and it's not just a fun word or cool word to say. It's about a different way of being. In the Pisces era, we were just learning, and a lot of times we were just going with the flow, and we were not really, we're going through a lot of emotions, and there's so much, and I can just do a whole video on the Pisces age. Sorry about the traffic. This is like the best place in my apartment that I can film. I'm gonna keep trying different spaces, but so anyway, with all these retrogrades, each of them are having us take a relook at those areas in our life. And with so much, as I was saying, going into this new age of Aquarius, which is much more galactic, more energetic. It involves more of the collective. When Pluto goes into Aquarius, I see the power being more in the people's hands, and much ready time for that, as all those structures and traditions and things have been falling in the governments and all of that with Pluto and Capricorn. So now in March, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius, where it's going to put the power in the people's hands. There's going to be quite an upheaval of what I'm feeling in the energy. There's 2 things I'm feeling. There's a shadow aspect where it's going to get kind of hard and energetic, and our nervous systems are going to feel things because Uranus rules Aquarius. Right now we're kind of feeling that when it comes to the Taurus North Node. We're feeling, as we're heading towards it, we're going into this more galactic with Uranus there, and it just really I think that it's been speaking about us having more value in a more Uranian way. Like, for example, having the Uranian languages like astrology and human design is one way to add to the level of value, because it's Taurus, your value, and in your future and where you're headed. And when Pluto comes into Aquarius, it's going to initiate that Aquarian age a lot stronger. We've been feeling some of the Aquarian age, but when this is going to be a big one, we're going to be, basically, we've been in a portal, and we've been looking at the door. And when Pluto goes into Aquarius in March, we're going to step inside the door and look in the door and go, wow, where are we? Because it's going to feel different. We're going to be in different environments and different atmosphere, and it's going to be so energetic that we're all going to need to adjust. And one of the things I'm seeing really clearly with that, and that's why I think all these retrogrades are here for preparation period, for us to get internally strong, because when the Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to have all of us feel all this energy, and then we're going to want to detach. Now that's Aquarian superpower. They have the ability to detach, but not the shadow form. They do it as a superpower in a way that they can detach from the personal aspect of it, so they can get the solutions and take that into the future in a better way, in a better energetic way. So but some of us are, it's going to be a lot of detaching, and some of us are going to feel as though we're being detached from, and those that are still sort of holding on to that Pisces age, and we're going to feel it. But just remember that it's not personal. So much that goes on. I was just talking to my client, and this North Node, and Uranus is retrograde. Yeah, I don't even know how many planets, because including Chiron, there's quite a few, and I think it's going to be 7 or 8 by October. So, and then we have the eclipses coming, which I'll do another video. I just want this video to be about these retrogrades and not so much detail, but what are we being called with this. And it has to do with where the North Node is now, and it has to do with all these retrogrades, and it has to do with Pluto initiating us into the Aquarian age. So all these retrogrades are for us to refine and redo and redesign and edit all kinds of things in our life so that we're ready. And the thing that I'm seeing the strongest, there's going to be a lot of little things with work and our value that we're going to be redoing and redesigning. But what I'm seeing so strongly is that we have to find like a real good practices, and I think morning is the best time to do it, to get really like meditate and get really strong internally. That way, when we have that together, when we get to that Aquarian age and it gets kind of crazy and our nervous systems kind of start reacting, we can have more balance with the nervous system, because now the nervous system is affecting people's hair, so everybody's going through that with Uranus in the North Node in Taurus, but when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to be even stronger. So we have to get ourselves ready to be internally strong, and really to focus on not, because the whole thing about right now with these eclipses and with the North Node is that we're revolutionizing our value and the way that we see things and the way we value things, and our value in particular with work and our just things we have and everything. That is so important as we grow there and expand there, that we don't rely on the outside response to incur, like, because with Aquarius it's going to be more detached, and we have to remember that even if you're doing something that you're really passionate about and you're not getting the response that you think would make sense to get with that, you have to detach from those forms, because the one thing about Aquarius is I'm an Aquarius, so I understand this really well, that we might not make sense to other people. We may do things in a quite different way that is not linear and not understood. And that's going to be the environment when Pluto goes into Aquarius, that we're going to start to feel like that. So we have to get even stronger internally, so that when this comes and we're preparing for that with all these retrogrades, that we're strong internally and that we can stay focused on our missions and our galactic missions. And everybody that has North Node in Aquarius, I have a lot of clients of that, because that they're here as front runners as well. So I'm supporting them and nourishing them into that. And I'm an Aquarius, so I'm here to serve. That's all I'm here to do. I'm here to serve everyone else around me and try to and have fun in that Aquarian. I want to step in that Aquarian age. Even at my age, I'm evolving all the time, so that I can enjoy the growth and the work. Because the spiritual work, the work, the healing that we do is so worth it. We get to enjoy in a higher vibration as we grow, because it always gets better. Even if like things have changed internally, you're always getting wiser, you're always getting stronger. Even if you're going through a season where you don't feel as strong, once you come out of that, you're even stronger than you were before, like much stronger, because you're even stronger going into that, and that just adds to it. With these retrogrades, each one of these, especially when Mars goes retrograde, Mars is going to, and it's in Gemini, so it can be a little faster, because Gemini is that third house of movies. So be careful traveling when Mars gets retrograde, because it can be accidents or cuts. Mars is sharp things, so be very careful, slow down, and just focus on the truth, because Gemini just wants us to be in truth. The other thing about Gemini, it's right in the immediate environment. That's one of the things about Gemini, even though it's short distance travel, but it has to do with the mind and the way that we're thinking, and even the words that we're saying, and the expression. It's calling for us to slow down and redo how we might be doing things. That way, once we do that, we can actually, you know, go forward to the next level. So it's humbling to have all these retrogrades because we're getting a lot of, and this will support us, believe it or not. Retrogrades aren't always a bad thing. It supports us in getting stronger from it. Now, you can make a choice where you get stronger from it, or you let it get you down and not believe again. And the energy is asking us to not give up, because our value with the North Node in Taurus is worth it. And what's going on right now at the end of this release and this purge we've been going through on the planet, once this Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to change the environment. So I know all of us will say this, we'll be like, oh, I see why it didn't work there and now it's working because these people came in or the environment's different. Getting that really strong as a download. So that's going to be interesting, like being in a whole new world when you step through that door. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say about this is that, it's in 2027. So all of this is preparation for Pluto going into Aquarius. That's going to be us transforming the collective, the energy, groups, social society, all of these things that Aquarius rules. And the essence of Aquarius is energy. And it is future oriented and things like that. So it's gonna go fast. Like, we're speeding up time. We all know that. If you're watching this, you probably already heard that. I think we're doing like a half a second more or something like that. So time is speeding up because Aquarius is the future. So all this future stuff is building up into 2027 when the North Node goes into Aquarius. That's when all of us that are on this mission, and if you have a North Node in Aquarius, you're on this mission. We're all going to be, as we're working this together, we see the different environment and connect to the different people. When 2027 comes is when we're going to be like, and we're probably going to be doing this a lot before, but it's really that time where you're there. Like, all the work you've been doing for all these years, if you've been on this journey doing the work, and even if you haven't and you're younger, you're probably more evolved anyway. Doing the work right now is the most important, and the work's been intense over the last few years, actually, and maybe even longer, since 2012. But we've purged all that, and I'm actually grateful for it. So if any of you want to work on this and see what these retrogrades need for you, I'll leave a link below. Reach out to me. Feel free to, book a session with me. I do have a 40% off sale right now for my readings. If I channel astrology, so I channel your natal, and we'll channel like what all these retrogrades are doing for you, and then where Pluto's going to be in your chart and what that's speaking to you about. We'll look at your Dharma, your North Node, and your Chiron, which is something I specialize in. So I hope to meet you soon. Reach out. I'll leave the link below, and that will end on Sunday at 11:59. Blessings. Take care.